Ever encountered that one weird kid in your school? It would be some weeb, a brony, an emo, a cult leader, a Countryball kid. Oh wait, that was what I was, a Countryball kid. That's probably why I aced at history and geography. I could name out every European capital out there, but still couldn't talk to girls. Also, knowing every European capital wasn't something that made you cool. It made you a target. And oh boy, I was once a target. I remember I used to draw Countryball stories in my school where people would just attack them and me, and was just basically like just weird battles. One time I drew a comic where like it was a competition of racing or something, and everyone got a medal and was smiling except for one guy. So one day a teacher went up and snatched my page off me like I stole her purse or something. She just looks at it in complete disgust, as if I planned to raid the school, and his page was like my genius plan. She then asks me why this certain guy wasn't smiling, and I said, well, because he didn't get a medal. Then she kind of ranted on how that certain character didn't smile, and how the rest of them were smiling, and how everyone should have been smiling in front of the whole class, which led me to being a target of so many people for a few months, because everyone saw my Countryball stories as some potential threat to the school for whatever reason. I don't know why it was such a serious issue. They were just harmless Countryball drawings. Yeah, they were weird, but they weren't a potential threat. They weren't like some terrorist plot. By the way, YouTube, these are just jokes. I don't even know why she had a full-blown rant over one little guy having a frown on his face. It's just a little story. Well, after getting that lecture from the teacher, you know what happened next? It just inspired me. It just inspired me to make worse comics. And so I did that. I started making Countryballs getting beat up, having entire armies, and completely going to war and wiping each other out. Now the teachers were getting concerned. I remember the same teacher asked me why 3 people weren't smiling, and I said this with complete confidence. They were my enemies. So you want to know what happened next? She just looked speechless. I bet she was just saying in her head, what has happened to this loving boy? What has happened? What have I done wrong? But yeah, I saw this as a great opportunity to start my villain arc. I started making these comics of Countryballs fighting, getting shot and everything, I guess a gang war. But I was doing this for a few months until I had a birthday party. I was doing them at home too, so when someone saw a bunch of pages, he just said, look at all these sheets. And then this girl who I used to be friends with said something like, Timmy, I'm gonna have to tell the teachers about this. And that's when I knew I was cooked, bro. I knew I was done for. It was over for me. Or so I thought. Joke's on her, she never actually told the teachers. But this didn't end. Eventually, I had enough of my little villain arc, so I decided to quit doing these comics. For a small bit. But I remember I was drawing a list of my friends, and she just saw me writing something on a page. She just snatched it off me, and then she started saying, whatever you write is my business. The next thing she does is crumble it up in front of everyone. She didn't even read it. Like, if it's your business, like, aren't you not gonna read the contents of the page, see what it's all about since it's your business? But no, you're crumbling up. Like, you told me it's your business, so why don't you look at it? That's the more reasonable thing to do. But she probably thought it was like a picture of me rolling her over with a tank or something, which would make sense. It still does not end here. A few months after witnessing my list of friends getting crumbled in front of my eyes, I got into a fight with a person and they ended up hitting me. How did I respond to this? Made a drawing of them with an army and me having my own army and fighting. At the time, we had a new teacher, and she actually took a different step to this. Instead of crumbling it up, she sent my mama an email. It was just basically like, Timmy got into a fight in school, and now he is back to doing his bad drawings. It was like they were prepared to deal with his second villain arc. The second battle between the teachers and my demonic drawings. I could practically hear the collective sigh from the teaching staff. Oh, great. He's drawing armies again. At this point, they probably had a whole protocol for dealing with my concerning artwork. But I'm just going to be honest with everyone. That villain arc ended long ago. I wasn't really bothered after that because I kind of moved on from that stuff. I felt like it was just childish and I had my fun now. And it was just starting to get boring and I had no space for it. So I finished my villain arc. After a whole year of tormenting the school with these violent and totally threatening comics, I gave up. I wonder if they still remember it though. They probably do. Especially the people that weren't smiling. Yeah, that apparently was dangerous, wasn't it? some dangerous demonic drawings. Say, have you ever had a villain arc in your school? Or did you get in trouble for drawing something stupid? Let me know in the comments. I remember having a picture of myself having the thumbs up, and then it was just memed by like some people I did not like. Speaking of a thumbs up, smash that like button or your cabbage. But yeah, that was my villain arc in school over some goofy characters not smiling. A fun time to be in. Anyways, I have a story of me getting bullied for being a Countryball fan, but I'll leave that for a part 2. Anyways, I'm gonna pull a potato gun and